All right, everybody, welcome to the Snapchat Q&A. Thank you for joining us. You might notice some new stuff, like particularly this. We've got a live subscriber count on there. We're getting all funky now. I've got a new Mac Pro, which looks like someone's kicked off the delivery truck, but it still works, and it's enabling us to have a nice, smooth stream and stuff like that. So I'm doing a little bit of a test on this one to make sure that it works, and hopefully this is what we're going to be doing the podcast for in future. So thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you've all got your Christmas shopping done. I hope you're all ready to rock with everything that's going to be happening over Christmas and all the rest of it. Let's get banged into the Snapchat questions as usual. The first few that's getting there nice and early, as you can see, it deletes them. There must just be a limit on how many people can send me stuff. So I will get down to the first ones that I can find. And it looks like Mark Snoop is the first one. Can I talk about more on what I said previously about Pogba reminding me of Zlatan? Or sorry, Zidane even. There's a video which has just got several of the manoeuvres that Zlatan does and that Pogba does. Sorry, fucking hell, Zidane does and Pogba does. And they've got very similar ways. And Zidane wasn't a boss in every single game. He wasn't someone that would completely dominate every single thing that was going on in a match. He would drift in and out of games and occasionally drop in that moment of magic. And I think at around about the age that Pogba's at now, Zidane was probably still playing left back. I think it took him into his late 20s, early 30s before he really developed into that Zidane, nearly said Zlatan again, Zidane-esque player that really ran games, that was just doing magic at all times. But that first touch, that ability to beat a man from midfield with just sheer ability and the size of him is very similar. They've got the eye for the spectacular, and I think they're also got a bit of an edge to the pair of them as well. Please share the video, and I think you'll notice that this count is going up now as well. How cool is that? It's literally a live subscriber count, so thank you everybody. We are still within possible reach, if we get a good night tonight, of someone taking away the signed Ryan Giggs boot. So if this hits 25,000 while you're watching, someone's going to be getting the Ryan Giggs boot. Anyway, on to the next question. Ali Saudi says, what do I think of Jose's recent comments about in supporting young referees? Haven't seen it, actually, so I can't really comment on it. He's correct, though. We don't have a game without referees, so you do need referees. Some of the referees have just been awful, haven't they? There's no two ways about it. They've been absolutely awful. Ahmed Wrestling says, would I mind selling Rooney to a Chinese team like they did with Oscar? Personally, I do, because he's a legend to the club in my perspective. A lot of people would disagree with you on the legend status, to be honest with you, mate. And I'm not going to get into that argument because I think it's long. But what I heard was that there was an offer from a Chinese club in the summer, and it was a lot of money as well. And I expected that Rooney would go. In fact, I heard about the offer around about the same time we were starting to hear that Mourinho was coming in, which was about January, February-ish. So I was assuming that Rooney was a goner, but obviously that didn't turn out to be correct. Maybe the offer was there, maybe the offer's still there. Maybe they're waiting for him to break the record, and then maybe he'll move over to China. Don't know. Ahmed says, had Ronaldo not left, Wayne Rooney, would Wayne Rooney have hit his potential, or would he have left? Hard to say, really. I mean, you don't know if Ronaldo would have helped Rooney or hindered Rooney or what. I don't really know. Undoubtedly, Ronaldo would have scored a shit ton of goals. I mean, he's got over 300 and something goals now at Real Madrid, hasn't he? Which is absolutely insane in the short time that he's been there. Let's have a look. James JMKR says, hello Stephen, do you think we don't actually need anyone this transfer window? We should keep who we have, but if we can get Griezmann cheaper than summer, get him now. I doubt we'll get him now ahead of the summer. I think he's definitely going to be one that's coming in the summer. These sort of transfers rarely happen in winter transfer windows, especially, he's still got things on the table that he could win this season. I definitely think we could go with what we've got. But it looks like they're going to do a little bit of debt clearing. It looks like there's going to be a few people moved on. It looks like there's even more people hitting us up. Boom, boom. Get subscribing. I think if we said, yeah, let's go as we are, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But it looks like we're going to let some players go. So if we're letting some players go, probably need to bring in a couple of players to replace what you're letting go, I would imagine. Dwayne says, who in the current squad do I see getting over 250 appearances for the club? Name 3, and it went off really quickly. Who in the current squad over 250 appearances? David De Gea can't be far off it. 250 appearances, you're looking at a good 6 years of being first choice, aren't you? Which is some effort, really. I think Lingard could stick around. I think John O'Shea's got like an obscene number of appearances. I think he's over 300. So I think Lingard could be a John O'Shea sort of character that sticks around and becomes a real good squad player forever. think Ander Herrera could stick around and do so. Luke Shaw definitely could. Rashford definitely could. There's several players who definitely could. No problem, yeah. Ibrahim, this sounds like a video. Oh, this looks like a video. I would choose Bale over Griezmann, although I think Griezmann's far more likely. I just like the way Bale plays the game, and I think he's better suited to the Premier League than Griezmann, because we don't actually know for definite if Griezmann is going to be suited to the Premier League or not. So, I guess not. I guess I'd go with Bale. Shabash says, do I rate Sterling? I think he's got excellent movement. I think he's got a brilliant low centre of gravity, but I think he just lacks that real killer instinct to be a genuine world-class player, but he's not far off it. LHHRC says, do I think Depay will get a chance before he leaves? No, not at all. Gone. Alex Finnegan. Out of the current under 18s, who will establish themselves as players like Lingard has done? I reckon you're probably not looking at those who are superstars to come in and do that. I think you're probably looking at maybe the likes of Cal Whelan, possibly. Some of the defenders, Jake Kenyon, maybe. This under 18 team is very good, and I think that's why everyone was a little bit disappointed, or a lot disappointed. Oh, do you know what? Saying there's no audio on the video Snapchat. Do you know why? My mic's down here, not up there. So I'll have to hold the next video one over here, but you guys won't be able to see the face. My bad. Azar Darts says, what's my favourite ever United shirt? Quite like the black one that Cantona kicked the guy at Selhurst Park in. Apart from that, the 96 FA Cup one, probably my favourite one. Philip Maguire says, what trophies do I see us winning this year? I think we'll pick a League Cup up. I think we'll probably pick up a League Cup, and that'll probably do us. HKS Drums. Which right back should we buy, seeing as though Darmian hasn't been good enough? I'd be very happy to see us give Varela a go. I'd be very happy to see us give Riley a go. He's a natural right back. Apart from that, the guy from Feyenoord doesn't look half bad. Not really keen on some of these like big name right backs that people keep throwing around and stuff like that. So I guess we'll just have to see on that one. How's the video quality and stuff like this anyway? Is it working for everybody or not? Is it does it seem more stable than how we usually do it? We normally do it on my iPad or on my phone. Does it seem more stable? Let us know in the old comments. Danny Flynn says, which player from any past United teams would have in the current one and why? I think you add Ronaldo to this team and you instantly make it tons better. I think we need a defender. And I think Rio Ferdinand in this team. Rio Ferdinand alongside Eric Bailly, and I think you've got an absolutely fantastic side. Sean, no, you're not. Tez Whitby, is it any coincidence that we get our first back-to-back Prem weeks? Christ, there, that's what it says. Something about Europa League. No, and I don't think it is, and I think we'll probably see a big difference with how we play in this period without Europa League, and then I reckon we'll probably cock it up again at the back end and see. We'll see it with Europa League returning. Robbie, 1872. Opinions on ultra groups and the standing section at Old Trafford. I think we covered this one yesterday, but you might have missed it if it went tits up. A standing section would be good at Old Trafford, but you can't just assume that the standing alone is going to make a difference to the atmosphere. J stand, everybody stands at the moment. It doesn't make a great deal of difference to the atmosphere. K stand, everybody stands up. It's not like the ultra areas that you see in some of the stadiums around Eastern Europe and South America and stuff, which is where we're really looking to for this, isn't it? Or Holland, maybe. Stretford End Tier 2, where I am, is bouncing, it's rocking for most games. But you can't hear it because of the acoustics of Old Trafford. If you want something that's really overt like that, you're going to have to change attitudes, I think. Ultra groups, I would love there to be one at Old Trafford that deals with all that sort of stuff, but people generally people just too cool for school is the only way I can think of saying it. No one wants to put their hand up and say, yeah, I'll do that, because you'll just get shot down, because just the way our fan base is at the moment, it's hard to see. Am I putting yesterday's live up as a video? Matt Jarvis says no, I am not. I'm going with this one, and that's it. So if you like this, sort of setup with the live subscribers and all the rest of it, then let us know. Santino says the video. Let's hold it over here. Hopefully, be able to hear this one.
Howson, do you think Paul Pogba has the ability to become the best player in the world?
Yeah, I think he does. It's going to be, like I said earlier with Zidane, 27, 28 years old. I think he's not going to happen at 23, 24, 25 for him. He's going to have to mature. That's when you really start understanding how to run games. And at some point, you're going to see the likes of Messi and Ronaldo drop off, because this last 10 years that we've had with those two has been insane, you know. It's been absolutely insane. Don't expect that shit to carry on. And it'll go back to normality, I think, when them two retire. We're looking at two of the greatest players of all time in Ronaldo and Messi. Cascal8 says, where and when do I see Marshall and Mata getting back into the team? I can see Mata playing in games at home that you expect us to win as a little bit of a lock picker if you don't go with that three-man midfield. I think when Carrick comes out of the team, Mata comes into the team as a number 10. Marshall, I think, might get his chance on Boxing Day on the left wing. Alex MM94 says, afternoon, I'm annoyed that Schneidlin is all but going, but Fellaini is still at the club. And how Memphis has been treated, considering Rooney and Fellaini were awful. Yeah, there were certain players that got played through their poor form, and certain players that had one bad game, got hooked, and then got left. That's a difficult one. Joe Pearson in the comments says, should do live comments as well as Snapchat. Obviously, there's more structure to it doing it with Snapchat. The reason why I'm going to include the live comments, and I will talk to you guys in the comments as well, but the podcast is the more of the one for the live comments, I think, unless we can figure out another way to do the Q&A. I think the Snapchat way of doing it is really good. I just like the format of doing it on Snapchat. But obviously, yeah, we always respond to the comments when we're on with comments and stuff. So, video's rad, audio's rad. Okay, so that's all good. Because I did have to mess about. There's a delay on the audio, which you have to mess around with. So hopefully it's all synced up and everyone's a winner. Tom Clark 10D says, which United player do you think would have made the best rugby league player? And wow, that's a good question. Well, obviously you've got multiple positions for rugby players. In your head, you think, oh, who's the big meaty one that might have put himself about? I think someone like Vidic would have made a really good centre, aggressive, strong tackler, but I reckon he would have charged forward quite well, quite agile. You've obviously got your winger types. Maybe a Ronaldo would have been a great try finisher because you wouldn't have caught him. Excellent lateral movement, footwork would have been ridiculous. Would have been very difficult to stop, would have scored a lot of tries. In terms of someone like a big machine, the only one I can think of really is like a Mark Hughes kind of character. Would have been a decent, maybe a hooker. There's not really anyone that's big enough to say that they could play in the forwards, I wouldn't have thought. Maybe Rio would have made a good second rower, possibly. No, he's far too skillful with the ball at his feet to really consider playing rugby, I think. Osu Mensah as a winger, someone saying in the YouTube comments. The guy's just magic, so he looks good wherever he plays. Rajinder's best non-Manchester United World 11 current. I don't know. I think that requires a lot of thought. It's probably a video on its own now. It's not really a nice snappy answer. On a current one, obviously Messi's going to be in it. Obviously Ronaldo's going to be in it. I'd probably have Lewandowski with Ronaldo on the left and Messi on the right, I think. Good man. I love the way people. There's a guy in the YouTube comments saying, "Oh, how deluded Man U fan base are because the title of the video is Can we win the league?" It's a question. Obviously, we can win the league. Will we win the league's a different thing. Absolute nutters. Keep liking and sharing the video as well. Let's see if we can get 500 likes on this one. We should be able to, I think. Me/1 says, could Lindelof be bought into place Carrick at some stage? I hope not. I don't understand why you would sign a defender to replace a defensive midfielder. If you want a defensive midfielder, let's buy defensive midfielders. Someone just mentioned over here in the comments, Timo Bakayoko. I really like the look of that guy. He's obviously not the exact same as a Carrick, but I think he's a good midfielder. Would you bring back Baye or Smalling for the Boxing Day game or keep Rowan Jones? I'd bring back Baye. I think Smalling's probably still got a little bit of work to do, I reckon, mate. I just got a funny text. I can't tell you what I got. All right, Will Vasey. Do I watch The Walking Dead? I watched the first 3 seasons, I think, and then it just got a bit samey for me, and I sacked it off. The missus and Jaden watch it big time though. Jekyllisic killed that one. Don't understand the signing of Lindelof. I understand the signing of a world class player like Ramos or something like that, but Lindelof, yeah, I agree, mate. I'm pretty much in agreement with what you're saying there. I don't really understand it. It doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. Is Fosu Mensah underrated? Probably is underrated, but I think he's got to get some game time. Who's the greatest player to play in the Premier League? I know we sing that it's you 1-1, but I don't think it is one matter. Paul Scholes, probably. Guy won 10 titles. Him or Giggs. Who will leave the club first? Klopp, Conte, Jose Pep, or Pochettino? Oops. Pochettino's going nowhere. I think Spurs are happy with what he's doing in the project that he's taking it. Ditto with Pep. I think even if he finished outside the top 5, I don't think City would get rid of him. At the start of the season, I made Chelsea one of the favourites to win the league, and Conte for the sack race, just because of the way Abramovich is. Even you're not Ibrahim. Because they're super volatile. They could win the league and sack him 2 months later. They really could. Don't think it'd be Klopp. I think Liverpool fans are far too in love with Klopp. Yeah, I reckon that's probably out of those that's left. It might be Jose. It might be Jose or Conte. Host Disorder over in the YouTube comments has got a good question, and we've had questions similar to this all before, but I'll answer this one best I can. Is there any financial factor to your involvement with YouTube, or purely because you enjoy it? Is it hard to make genuine financial secure career with a successful YouTube channel only? I don't know, but there's definitely people that are making full-time careers on YouTube, and they've got 10 times the number that I've got. So I do make a little bit of cash. It probably covers my season ticket at the moment, which I'm happy with. I'm building towards something bigger. I'd like to get to like 100,000 or something like that. I can see me doing YouTube for a long, long time, so I'm not just trying to turn this into something quick. The amount of time that I spend on this compared to what I get out of it, it would be so far below minimum wage that it just wouldn't even be funny. So no, I'm not doing this for any sort of financial thing. It's a long-term thing to see where we can go and to see what we can do with it, to practice my editing, to practice my presenting, and I do enjoy it. Otherwise, I just simply wouldn't do it. Yeah, but the financial factor, there is some monetary involvement in it. It's pennies. Honestly, it's absolutely pennies. I think you could probably make a decent living if you was doing a few million hits a month. But to be doing that sort of stuff, obviously, you're gonna have to be having a channel that's got. I think for an individual, I reckon 100 to 150 sort of thousand. I reckon if you upload pretty regular, you could probably get near there then. But I'm on 24,843, so there's no way that I'm doing that just yet. Not at all. I'm a long, long way from that. Let's get back into questions. Rafs99 says, should we consider selling Matter if he isn't getting in the team? Too good to be a bench warmer. I would agree to an extent, but I guarantee that if you let him go, someone else would get injured. It's good to have a nice squad with options at the moment, but I agree that it'd also be nice to have a team where we could have first choice, obvious first choices. Carry on with these. Lulu T says, what player do you want to be in a United shirt in a year? What player do you want to be in a United shirt? Cruz, Bale, Lewandowski, any of them lot really. I'd love those to be at Old Trafford. Alex Burton, there's opinions on Schneidlin to Everton. Looks like he's going, doesn't it? Whether it's Everton or whether that's West Brom, with Tony Pulis basically admitting that they've stuck a bid in for him. I don't know. I'm a bit gutted that they're going, to be honest. I am a little bit gutted that they're going. But it looks like they wasn't getting games, so that's that. Jordan DC says, what would you get from 150,000 views? You get basically about $1 per 1,000, so you get maybe $150 for 150,000 views, but you then lose 40% of that, I think, because YouTube takes 40% of that, so you'd get $85, and then with the exchange rate, maybe end up with $65, $70. So, yeah, coming out with that. 50, 60 quid at the end, probably. Depends on your network. Liam Crook says, who would be your perfect replacement for Carrick when he retires? Covered this one quite a few times. I think if you're looking internally, I think Blind and Goss would be good options. I think if you're looking externally, I think Cruz. If you want to go a little bit left with it and go with someone a bit more aggressive, then I reckon Fosu Mensah. What did I make from Sky for being in that show in Off the Bar? Nothing. Don't get anything for being on BT. Don't get anything for being on Sky. Don't get anything for being Premier League shows that I do. Don't get anything at all. We do it just because it helps Full Time Devils exposure and credibility, really. What is the name of the player coming to Manchester United in January? Lindelof, by the looks of things. Any advice for young players trying to get scouted? Play your game, don't worry about who's on the sideline. You'll get picked up. If you're playing in the right areas, there's scouts at every single. Aaron Z90 says, fancy a pint? I'll be having a couple later. Cantona and Brazilian Ronaldo in their prime. Probably Brazilian Ronaldo, but I've got a love affair going on with Cantona. Can't I have them both together? Can you not imagine how good that would be as a partnership? Days. That's the one thing I want to ask Fergie, that. Do I reckon Jose wants a new left back as well? I think he might. Because he's obviously not happy with Luke Shaw. So I will see. Hugh Mayunt says, do I think we're short of good midfielders when Schneider goes? No. I think we've got a very good first choice midfield, and we've got some excellent ones waiting to come through. Eamon Soccerman. Not playing.
Do you think you'll ever see England win the World Cup again, and why?
And also have a good Christmas. Thank you, mate, and you have a good Christmas too. Yes, I do think I'll see England win the World Cup in my lifetime. I figure I've probably got another 60 years on this planet. That's 15 World Cups or something like that. I reckon just out of sheer statistics, we're probably going to win one. Not because I can see anything good coming through. Oh, hang on. No, I'm going to pull that back, actually. There's a lot of really good players coming through. I think the England team in 5, 6, 7 years is going to be fantastic. Which football channels do I watch on YouTube? Copper 90, Football Daily, Full Time Devils, TFR. I don't know, actually. Go and check my subscriptions. Do I know the owner of who 442 supports? No, I've met him a couple of times. My audio goes off and comes back again. Do you know why? I've got a noise gate on. I'll probably take it off. Once the audio drops for a little bit, it'll cut it completely. It's to stop like exterior noise, but I'll fix that for the next. What's my opinion on soccer in the US? It's getting better, and when they put money in, things are going to improve. Just look at City. Thoughts on Darren Gibson? I don't know, what do you mean? Which Premier League team is nearest to winning the Champions League at the moment? City, really, out of the ones that's in there at the moment, because I don't think Arsenal are getting anywhere past Munich. So yeah, I think City at the moment. I don't know. It's hard because it's not always necessarily the best team that goes and wins it. We've seen Monaco and we've seen Porto win it in the past. We've seen Chelsea win it when they was nowhere near being the best team in Europe. You need a lot of luck, and you need to just hit form at the right time. Danny Ferrand, which players in the Prem are world class? I think Sanchez is. I think City have got a couple in De Bruyne and Aguero. I think outside the major clubs, I'd be unsure that there's that many. Ross Aburn says, would I rather expand Old Trafford beyond 100k or build an academy stadium? I would rather us build our own academy stadium. It sucks going all the way to League. I do like the idea of an academy stadium, definitely. Reese Greater X, biggest change is if Mourinho was appointed in 2013. I think we probably would have won a league with the team that we had. I don't think we'd have had the dip that we had. But ultimately, I think he might have left us in a worse place, as mad as that sounds. I don't know. I wanted him to be the guy that replaced Fergie. I thought appointing him after 3 years was probably a bad move. It looks like we're going to be going in all sorts of madness. But maybe I'm wrong. Joe Varell says, do I think Ibra will be able to continue his great form for the whole season? Yes, I do. These are going up nicely, aren't they? These. How many league goals will Ibra score? I reckon he's going to get 25. ONF10 says, in their prime, who you're having out of R9, Zidane, or Ronaldinho? R9. Definitely R9. C. Gilder says, do you think Memphis leaves, it'll be the player that we saw at PSV? Yes. I think he's going to smash it at Arsenal. Claude1 says, what are your thoughts on Mourinho so far? How long do you think he'll stay at United for? I reckon he's going to do 5 years. And I've been pretty impressed with him so far, but he's definitely got to sort out playing the academy. Predicted lineup for Monday. I don't know. I hate that picture. TBG997 says, who's the best centre half in Europe right now for United, and how much would be your spending cap on that player? I think we answered this one yesterday, but it got deleted. And that would be Benedict Hoidis. I really do like that lad. I think he's the sort of real calm but aggressive and physical defender that we need. Ishrak says, hey Stephen, I'm the guy I always comment on your IG posts. What do I think is Lindelof's best quality? He's got an excellent over-the-top pass out to the flank. I think that's probably his most standout quality, but I still worry a little bit for him, to be honest. Abraham says, who in the top four would miss out? I actually think Arsenal, but I think Liverpool probably because of their squad depth. Reese Perry 2000, we've got another video coming up. Opinion on Leeds United. I hate yous, but I'd have yous back in the Premier League because football's all about rivalry. Let's stop fucking pretending that we all enjoy each other. It's about rivalry, it's about things going off, and it's about fucking hating the teams that you're playing, and Leeds and United hate each other. Yeah, I'd love to see you back in the Prem so we can fucking lever you. And I'd love to see you get relegated again so I can laugh. But it's all love. Ollie says,
United this year.
Bollocks. I have no idea what Ollie just said.
Right, Steve, who do you think will win the Player of the Year for United this year?
Who do I think is going to win the Player of the Year for United this year? As it stands, I think probably Zidane at the moment. But I think Pogba's in there with a shout. I think Herrera's in there for a shout. And I think Bailly, if he gets back and plays a lot of games, is in there for a shout. Charlie J32. If I was Jose Mourinho, who would you buy and sell January and then in the... I think there's... I don't know, in all honesty. There's players that I think I would play that he's just not playing. And I don't think our answers lie in the transfer market. I think we've got a very good squad. There's obviously players that you think you're not really doing a lot. Fellaini, Young, and I would have said Phil Jones in that, but he's proven to be fairly useful at the moment if he stays fit. I think, I don't know. We're obviously going to sign a Galactico level player in the summer, which would probably be like a Griezmann or someone like that. But I would look again. Lewandowski's a player I'd love to see in. Jack Dunlop 7 says Sean Goss future first teamer or not? Hey, that's me. That. Yes, definitely. I really do think he is a potential replacement for Carrick. I think he'd be absolutely fantastic in that role. But he needs experience. He's got to go out on loan. Maybe he should go and help Joycey out at Wigan, who's not had a great start to life over there at Wigan. Ryan Campbell 9. Will Chelsea win the league? Oh, you're talking about a Gerrard level slip if they don't from this point. Benji Slack. Who's my ideal centre back to buy in January? Youth or experience? Again, Hoidis. or Tuanzebe. A. Ahmed said, talk about the comments Moyes made. Moyes contradicted himself quite a lot because he said United have turned their back on their tradition of playing this, that, and the other, and they've just gone for big signings. But in the same interview, he moans about the fact that he was trying to sign Bale, Ronaldo, Fabregas, Cruz, etc., etc., etc. Moyes needs to take some responsibility for what happened to himself. Yes, the club didn't sign the signings, but maybe they didn't want to fucking play for you, mate. Maybe they didn't want to play for you when they realised, actually, you don't really know what you're doing. They heard about some of the training regime that you were doing. Players was fucking losing their rag left, right, and centre. Players have got, especially Ronaldo, have still got contacts within our dressing room. So if they're saying, this guy's a fucking clown, they're not going to sign for you. And I think if that's what happened and how it went down, then I think, what I'd heard was that Fabregas was going to be our first signing. And I know that we bid for Bale, but his heart was set on going to Madrid. So if his heart's set on going to Madrid, you've got to fucking get over it, mate. His old man said, yeah, he might play for Man United at one day, but he's going to Madrid. Sound, you have to fucking deal with that. Ronaldo, Fergie said we were trying to get Ronaldo back. Well, maybe we did, and maybe he realised he didn't want to fucking play for you. There's all sorts of reasons why this did or didn't happen. You just got to fucking deal with it. I hope we fucking lever you on Boxing Day. Joker Polo, what do I think Schneiderlin can bring to the Albion? He's a ball-playing midfielder with also an excellent work rate. And I think him and Fletcher sat alongside each other will give a real good platform for the rest of the team to work off. But you need a goal scorer, otherwise you're going to struggle. Thoughts on Sean Goss? Again, is this fucking Gossy? We have found Gossy's fucking account now, haven't we? Yeah, he is as close to Carrick as you're going to get. They're very similar. Fucking look like each other as well. George Poincott. Yo, bro, it's you. Yes, it's me. That's me, that. Confirmed. What do I think the chances of winning the Champions League with Jose? I think we might even win the Champions League before we win the league. How about that one? Matt Foley 2015 says, who do I think will win in Hay and Bellew fight? I think Hay, although he's been out for a long ass time, I think his speed at that level is, I don't think Bellew can live with that. Merry Christmas, Howson, and how many goals do I think Zlatan can come up with in the league and all competitions? Merry Christmas, mate. I think it's 25, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was 30. Your Jack 300. What do you think will make? Who do I think will make the top four? Shout out to 300. And why? I think Chelsea's going to win the league. I think United and City because they've got the quality to get over the line, and I think one of Liverpool, Spurs, or Arsenal will scrape into fourth place. Because they've also got the quality. Whoever misses out, I think, I'd be very shocked if anyone loses their job in the top 6 at the moment because everyone's sort of happy with the way the projects are going. Craig Kane 2001. Do I think in a few years' time we'll regret selling Memphis like we do with Pogba? And do I like your poster? It's a Collage United's greatest moments. Yes, pretty sick. Michael Marge, happy Christmas. Love the channel. Thank you very much, mate. Love having you watching. Sam B11, do I think a stadium expansion is possible / likely? Yes, I believe they're looking into the options of it right now. S Bennett 783, what are my opinions on the rumours of Fellaini to Italy? Well, he's in Milan. I think there's a very real chance that that's happening. James Fielding, most overrated player in the Premier League. I've just done it on Game of 2 Hours, but I don't know if it's been released yet, so I'll... Jack Connor, how many of the youth team players could be regular in the first team? At least half a dozen of them. Especially in the 23s, you've got Riley, you've got Sean Gosh, you've got Willock, you've got Tuanzebe. All of them lads would probably do you a job in the first team. Who's my favourite football manager wonder kid on any version of the game? That's a top question. Javier Saviola on, was it 97-98 version? Was amazing. Getting from, I think it was from River at 16. It was amazing. I think on 2003 version you could get Messi. He turns out alright. Fabio Paim, P-A-I-M, had the best dribbling and agility you've ever seen in a game, and he used to take the piss. He was from Sporting, and I think he was 14 years old. And I want to say it was on like the 2005 or 2006 version, and he just went on to be one of the best players you've ever seen in the game. Unbelievable. DJ Red Dev says, what do I think makes Carrick so good? He's my second favourite player of all time. And a little shout out, so go give him a follow right there. I think it's his reading of the game and it's his decision making. Decision making is one of those almost unquantifiables that's really hard to judge in a game. But when someone's good at it, it's obvious, but it's really hard to quantify. You can't quantify it like you can with a stopwatch, like someone's fast because they run the 100 in X. You can't quantify someone's decision making apart from watching them and seeing what they do in a game in different situations. And I think Carrick's decision making, when to let the ball go, when to make the pass, probably second to none. Regan S21, who's my preferred centre half partnership? I'd like to see Bay and Blind. PJS 100. What reception do I think Moyes will get when he returns? I think it'll be really mixed. I think there'll be some people give him shit, to be honest. I do think some people will give him shit. Adam Farrell 99. What's our strongest 11 with everyone fully fit? Depends on the teammate. I don't think you can just pick a random 11. I think you've got to tailor it to the game a little bit. Will Exian says, do I think Blind will get more midfield opportunities when Sneijder leaves and Lindelof comes in? What's the best Stone Roses album? Love the content. The best Stone Roses album is The Stone Roses, which is the first one. Also, though, you want to try Stone Roses, the remixes. That's a pretty sick album. And what was the other part of the question? Do I think Blind will get more midfield opportunities when the Schmidfield leaves? I hope so. I don't know, though. Sammy Chowdhury, how long will it take us to win another Champions League? Do you know what? Put a fucking fiver on United winning next year's Champions League. Thank me next summer. What player would you like from a lesser league like Dembele at Celtic? Dembele at Celtic's a good player. Timo Werner at RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. He's a decent player. I'm trying to think who there is in Belgium. Don't know. There's a couple of lads in America that might do it in England, you know. Can I do a Draw My Life video? You seem to have a very interesting history. Nah, I don't want to do that. Sorry, mate. Borgarson, would I give Memphis a run of games in the first team? Yes, I would, but I understand why Mourinho hasn't because of the amount of pressure that's on us, and I think he really needs someone to just really give him that time. Would I like Rashford to go on loan if we sign more attacking players? You know what? I said this at the start of the season. I said if he's not going to play regularly, he's not going to improve. And people took the piss and he was like, fucking course Rashford's going to play. Well, he has played, and he's played a bit more than I probably thought he would do, but I think he would still benefit from being a first-choice player, playing week in, week out. But he's also coming in and being useful in the team when he does come on, though. So it's a hard one, isn't it? There's no right answer. You either do it or you don't do it. Yusuf Adat says, Adidas or Adidas? I say Adidas. I know a lot that say Adidas, though. Dybala as a second striker, that's a good footballer, man. He is a hell of a footballer. Tom PPU 11, do I think we would have won the Champions League in 2013 if Nani hadn't have been sent off against Real? Who won it in 2013? 2013. Let me just Google who won that. I can't even remember who won it. Oh, that was Munich and Dortmund in the final, wasn't it, at Wembley? It was in the semis. Let's have a look at the semis. The semi-finals. Oh yeah, that was when Bayern Munich smashed Barcelona 7-0, wasn't it? Barcelona, Real Madrid against Dortmund and Bayern. I think we'd have made it to the semi. Don't know. I think we'd have had a decent chance though. K Doyle says, who would I rather play as a striker? Ibrahimovic and Merry Christmas. Oh, sorry, mate. I couldn't read what you said. Bonneville, top one, open up again. For Man United, Merry Christmas from the Faroe Islands. Merry Christmas, mate. Farman Bond, do I think teams will be able to understand Chelsea's 3-4-3 formation next season? Yeah, it's happened before, where were teams that switch a formation to something a bit new, go on a bit of a run, and one team figures it out, and then everyone's got them then. I don't think it'll be that extent. I think they'll still win enough to see them over, but I think a couple of teams will figure them out. Lewis Donoghue, who will be in the starting 11 in 5 years' time already at the club? I hope De Gea. Rashford, Lingard, Luke Shaw, still be proper young. Most of the defence is pretty young. Baye, can you imagine Baye when he's 28, 29? Oof. John Knutson, was not signing Cruz one of LVG's biggest blunders. Also, Merry Christmas. Thank you, mate. Merry Christmas to you too. Maybe because we wouldn't be asking the questions about who would replace Carrick now, and we'd have a midfield of potentially Herrera, Cruz, and Pogba. What? Ratwood MUFC 20 says, "Who's been your fighter of the year?" That's not a bad shout, mate. Bisping, because no one expected him to take the title. Nobody expected him to defend the title, and he's still the champion going into 2017, which I have to admit I didn't expect. Thought Luke Rockhold was going to absolutely have him for breakfast. So I think that's a really good shout. And Conor McGregor, what a fucking fighter. It'd be interesting to see if we see Conor McGregor at all next year. I wouldn't put money on it. Elliot says, where's Fosu Mensah's best position and how would he fit into the team? I personally would go with him being a destroyer midfielder at the base of the triangle. But also, you've got to remember, in a midfield three, the two forward number 8s, they also do a little bit of legwork as well. But if you have Fosu Mensah, that was the absolute mullerer behind him, in a very Roy Keane, Brian Robson sort of role, I think he'd be fantastic. And I think he'd also chip in with a couple of goals because he does get forward. Alex Lucas, favourite Stone Roses song is Waterfall. Janine bought me the sound wave of it. It's the best song out there in the world. It sounds brand new, even 7 years. Kes Thompson, what do I think about this McGregor Mayweather stuff? So much money in this, if true. I think it is true. I think it's going to happen. I do think it's going to happen. McGregor getting his license. I think McGregor can take him the distance, and I think he'll be able to spin that into teaming. That's some sort of victory. Like, I don't even fight in boxing, and I've just took the fucking greatest of all time to a decision. You come to my sport, and I'll fucking end you inside a minute, which is true. And I think McGregor will be able to make tens of millions on the back of that. I think he'll do it. I really think he'll do it. And he's also got a chance of fucking sparking him out as well. He literally only needs one. If he can make it dirty fight, if he can make it scrappy, then he's got an opportunity to land a counter left on Mayweather. And if he does land a counter left on Mayweather, like everyone, it's a touch of death. Mayweather would go to sleep. But I think it's unlikely, and I think Mayweather will get a decision against everyone. Kami J. Wigwaner says, I think United should sell Smalling. I know he's been injured, but he hasn't impressed, and the other centre-half. Is everyone forgetting how good Smalling was at the start of last season? If he can recapture that form, he's probably, alongside Bay, our best defender. Who has a better beard, me or Perlo? Always Perlo, mate. Perlo's got a World Cup underneath his beard. So it's always Perlo. Ryan Conway, Quality Street or Roses? Quality Street. Got the praline triangles. It's all about the praline triangles. I do believe that Moyes will get an applause, but as a sign of respect, do you agree? I usually get in too late for that sort of shit, so it won't be getting one off me. Do you believe that Sam will succeed at Crystal Palace, and what will be expected of him in the first 2 seasons? Keep him up. Keep him up. Keep him up. Then see what happens, because I think they're in danger. Victor Eternal, do you think Tuan Zebe would get a sniff in his squad this Christmas period or even in the FA Cups? Well, I know him and Gossie have been training with the first team, and trust me, I've been asking the questions. Any chance of you getting in the first team? They have no idea. Iro Hells says, thoughts on a potential extension for Mourinho? If he's turning the club, he's putting us in the right direction, why the hell wouldn't he get an extension? I would say. Do I think Ravel Morrison would get into this squad? And why am I fat? I'm fat because I eat. Think about it, son. Ravel Morrison, no, I think he's too disruptive in training. I don't want to bag on Ravel Morrison, but you know what's happened to him. Don't want to go there. When will Gribbin be ready for the first team? After a loan somewhere really tough. Jacob Roche, where do I see United in 5 years' time? 22 league titles. C. Reyes, is Blin the ideal replacement for Carrick? I think so. I was watching an old fan cam from when Blin first signed, and it looks like that was something that was evident back then. I think he just needs to play a little bit more. Who do I think should be our next striker after Zlatan, Rashford, or look somewhere else? I don't think Rashford's just ready just yet, and I think Zlatan's going to be done in like a year's time, 18 months. So I think you could look to someone a little bit more finished. Do I believe in ghosts? And what do I prefer, the in-betweeners or the office? No, I don't believe in ghosts. And I like the American version. Top. Medji, fan of your work. What's my thought about China becoming the new world superpower? And it's gone off. Thanks for the compliment, and I do think it's good for the game that at the moment it feels wrong because it's artificially inflating it, giving Tevez 600 grand and all the rest of it. But long term, it'll be good for the game. I think when you've got China being a legitimate league that people can go to, and also South America's becoming stronger, and also the MLS. So rather than just being all concentrated in Europe, it's nice to see it spread out. Australia's becoming a little bit stronger. Someone needs to do something in Africa because Africa's a fucking enormous continent that deserves to have some real meaningful club competitions going on there. The African Cup of Nations even is huge, not on a big club scene at the moment. And I've seen some ultras videos from like Morocco and stuff like that, and I would absolutely love to go and experience it and film it and bring it back and show you guys, because I bet there's some fucking bananas places in Africa for local rivalries and stuff like that. K Noxious, likelihood of Griezmann joining in the summer, I think pretty high, mate. Pretty damn high. Joe Rinson, do I think Griezmann will come to United, and if so, where will he play? I reckon on the right hand side of the three. JTM UFC, Aguero or Suarez. Aguero. I'm not even going to give Suarez a steam off my piss. Ever. Fuck him. Here's another video.
Hey Steven, love the work. Do you think Jose is playing Jones to drive up his selling price? Same with Rojo.
People often lay that at the feet of some managers, don't they? But I'd be fucking surprised if that was the case. Because surely you want to just... surely you just want to do the best that you can for the club, and you'd be like, oh, I'm not playing him just to get his fucking selling price up. If you're doing that, if you're doing the selling price thing, then it's because you think he's not good enough. You're not going to play someone you don't think is good enough. So it's counterintuitive, I think, that. And I would hope not, to be honest. Max Williams, what do I think of the likes of Yanazai, Pereira, Wilson? Can they still make it? All three of them probably good enough to do so. Will they? Probably not. I think Pereira's the favourite at the moment to do so. Smashing it over at Granada. Where he plays when he comes back, Christ knows. Michel, do I think United being linked to Benfica's right back Smido, young and talented? I think he's a bit attacking. I need to see more of him defensively. Merry Christmas. Do I think Luke Shaw will be able to get back in the team this season? He's got the talent. See if he can get the fitness back. The B-Man. Don't have a question. Just want to say keep it up, the content, and Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, mate. All the way from Waterford. Bruno Blake. Have I ever seen Gerrard win the league? No. Not even the fucking one in America. Luke PNE. Keep, loan, or sell Depay. I'd loan him. We are selling him. Jack Hartman. What's my opinion on Phil Jones? If he can stay fit, might be a player there. Can't stay fit, sling him. Jay Williams, 221. Chances out of 10 of Griezmann going to United, I think of like an 8 out of 10 at least. Pretty likely. How long do I think Jose will stay for? Good 5 years, not 10 years. Common Gobshite. Why do United and Mourinho get so much shit, but Klopp, Pep get their asses licked? I knew that, mate. I don't fucking know. Make any sense to me whatsoever. I think it's because they're the new thing. He was the new thing 10 years ago and could do no wrong 12 years ago. But now they're the new toy. They'll turn on them eventually, and then it'll get interesting. Ben Duke 27. Who's a long-term replacement for Tony Valencia? Might already be at the club. I wouldn't mind seeing Varela and Riley. Riley's quite similar to Tony Valencia in a lot of ways. I'd like to see him get an opportunity. Ashik, without Zlatan Ibrahimovic, do you think we would be sixth in the table? Shit, no. Why isn't Pogba scoring? Doesn't need to. David Hayes not scored for fucking ages. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Here's Gaz 123. When will we sign a fucking world-class experienced centre-half? Fair, mate. There's not that many out there. It's not like there's tons of them kicking around. Andy Jackson. If I was stranded on a desert island, which 4 United players would I have with me? Let's get that back. That's a really good question. Which 4 United players am I taking with me? That's a top question. Can it be some past ones? I'm taking Paddy Evra, whether you let me or not. He's coming for the entertainment. I'm taking Sir Bobby Charlton, if we're doing past ones. Eric Cantona. I'll take one current one in case that was what you meant. One matter so he can give me a cuddle and tuck me in at night. There's a few people mentioning, can I talk about Munich? And Munich is blacklisted by the channel. But I can see that you're saying it. Yes, you obviously want me to speak to my granddad about Munich. I'm going to be doing it over some point over Christmas. Maximum amount I'd pay for Griezmann, whatever we've got in the bank. Josh Waters, do I think Mata deserves to get in United starting 11? Yes, probably our best player in 2016. Got to find a way to fit him in. Jay Singh, don't you think Mourinho should have given Schneiderlin a chance? Yes, I do. Homeless Duffer, in your opinion, what's the best back five in the world, including goalkeeper? I don't think it's Neuer, right? I struggle for a right back, although I think Bellerin probably just edge it. Left back, don't know for left back. Left back, I think Luke Shaw was close, but it's not at the moment. And then centre half wise, shit, I don't know. I can't put me on a spot like that. I need more time to think. Shaney Boy 98 says, in our current team, who would you have? And you can only pick one: Ferdinand, Vidic, Scholes, or Keane. In this current team, we need a real Ferdinand. Chaffex Pilot, who will be the next midfielder to win the Ballon d'Or? Pogba. Is Wayne Rooney a United legend? A hat. Not for me, mate. Wasn't sure if it sent Merry Christmas. Fucking hell. Merry Christmas, mate. Yash Litterfair, why do I think Marshall isn't getting much game time? Patience, he will do. Jay Young, do I think Griezmann will fit into the team if we sign him? Yeah. Oh, how? Right hand side, it'll be fine. Happy Christmas, love your content. Cheers, Charlie. Hong Daniel, where can we improve on the pitch? A fucking ball in the back of the net. The only thing we need to do. And fuck Leeds, correct. What do I think of Son at Tottenham? I think he's a great player. Will we regret losing Memphis and Schneiderlin? I think so. Phil Davison. Cheeky. Brooklyn McCrook, Merry Christmas, mate. What's your opinions on Pep Fraudiola midway through the season? Going exactly how I thought it'd go, to be honest, where he would lose some and people would make loads of fucking excuses. Jesus, that's an angry face. What's my ideal centre partnership for the rest of the season? I'd like to see Smalling and Bay, but I'd be happy with Smalling, Bay and Blind even. Would Cristiano ever return under Jose? No, that ship sailed. Fuck him. Wouldn't a stadium expansion cause sunlight problems like what happened at San Siro? That one's gone. I don't think so. I think you can do a clear roof, and there's not that much sun that comes over the south stand of the stadium anyway, I don't think. And we have those things that are constantly driving up and down the pitch. I think we're fine. Dwayne 23, have I ever been to Villa Park? What are my thoughts on the atmosphere there? Yes, been to Villa Park loads, more than any other away ground actually. It's a shithole, but it's always a good atmosphere because you're all nicely tight packed in. Taylor Spriggy, RVP or Ibra in their prime. Got to go with Van Persie at the moment because he won us a league, or helped us to win a league, but I'm very impressed with Zlatan. But I prefer Carrick at 25 or Ibra. What? At 25. PS, love full-time Devils. I think I wouldn't have minded seeing what Zlatan could do at Old Trafford at 25. Oh my god, there's fucking loads of you. Been going so long. I'll have to call it a day. Alright, we'll do 5 more of these. 5 more from the YouTube comments, and then we'll call it a day. Who will have the most success in 5 years? United under Mourinho or City under Guardiola? United will. Nailed on. S. Bennett. How much would Dennis Law, Michael Roy Keane, Dennis Irwin, etc. be worth? Do I agree that Carrick is the most rated footballer in the last 10 years? That's a hell of a shout. It could be. Dennis Law. United paid almost 40% of our turnover for Dennis Law when we signed him. That's like us spending around about 230 million on Pogba this summer. A lot of cash. And I think a lot of people who watched him at the time would say it was worth it. Matthew, apart from Defoe, do I see any real threats from the Sunderland team? Nope. Jordan Rustler, watch all your videos. Keep it up. Oh, thank you, brother. Cheetah 3, would you win the Champions League if it meant getting relegated in the same season? Fuck no. Oh, you've gone. Let's get you. Get your big, beautiful face on there. No, I'm not having that. Last one, Harry. Do I think Griezmann will come to Man United, and what happens to Rooney at the end of the summer? I do think Rooney could be moved on once he's got the record, and I do think Griezmann will come in and take that number 7 shirt. Right, let's get into the comments over here on YouTube. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's scroll back a little bit because I've missed tons of these. Lamb's a hell of a shout. Yeah, I forgot about Lamb. Long-term replacement for Valencia is going to be that guy from Benfica, says Rooney. Yeah, I think that's a decent one. Giovanni wants a shout out. There's your shout out. Can we somehow keep Schneidlin? Doesn't look like it. People need to realise the difference between boxing and MMA wouldn't be close. Conor would never catch Mayweather. Conor is a very average boxer. He is. But I think in a one-off fight, once I think he could catch him. I don't think he will. I think you're talking massively favouring Mayweather. But I think he's also a very talented martial artist. Happens. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? Yes, he was our saviour from afar. What a friend we have in him. His name is Cantona. What do I think about the Dortmund Dembele? I haven't seen much of Dortmund this season. Okay. My granddad will be coming on. I mentioned earlier. Let's get a couple more. People calling Pogba a fraud are crazy. Correct. Whenever, can't figure out who these are coming up with. Do I think Pogba will win the Ballon d'Or? Yes. What do I think of Gabriel Jesus at City? He's not there yet, so can't really give a comment. Griezmann or Lukaku? Yes. If we have one of those, I'll be happy. Right, and that will finish. We're still 123 off someone getting a boot. Doesn't look like it's 124 off someone getting a boot. Doesn't look like it's going to happen tonight. We're going to roll it over, and I'm going to try and get something else signed off gigs as well. A shirt, maybe. Thank you all for watching. I hope everyone has a fucking top Christmas day tomorrow. I was planning on sticking a vlog out tomorrow that I did for those 6 matches, where I did 6 matches in 7 days. It's not finished yet, so I'll stick it out before New Year, all being well. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe if you're new over here. Next video is probably going to be on Boxing Day, but I don't know what that's going to be. As I said before, thanks to everybody who's got involved in this channel. I started it a week today last year. Whatever. I started it on fucking January the 1st anyway, and to get to almost 25,000 subscribers in a year, pretty happy with that. It seems to be going in the right direction. So, thank you everybody who subscribed, commented, watched a video or anything like that. It means the fucking world to us that you guys actually bother your asses to come and listen to what I have to waffle about. Hope you all have a good Christmas and a good New Year. I will see you all on the other side on Boxing Day. See you later.